Hello there, guys. It's Pearl Jr. here. So yesterday I did do a live for the YouTube audience that aren't getting the live that I did do yesterday. Right before the Grammys. It is on my Pearl Jr. group or my Cecil Holmes parenthesis Pearl Jr. page on Facebook. There's a lot of stuff to get to today. A lot of stuff is going on. I got a lot of information for you guys. So, anyways, but let's start with good news, okay? Let's start with some great news. I'm going to turn my camera around and I'm going to play something for you guys. I recorded this yesterday. Here I am, guys, and we're going to watch the In Memoriam together. Sorry, I cut James Ingram off. Oh God, Joe Jackson, I hope. Oh, Saida and Dennis Edwards. Joe! Yay! All right, Joe. Here I am, guys, and we're going to watch the In Memoriam. So our campaign worked, okay? That we had on January 1st, I had started a campaign to make sure that Joe Jackson was mentioned in the memoriam of the Grammys, because no other family in the history of entertainment has received more Grammys than the Jackson family. I'm pretty sure that's a quote. I haven't counted every Grammy, but I can't imagine any other family getting as many Grammys as the Jackson family has. And we want to make sure people understand that Joe was not just the father, the biological father of the Jacksons. He is also their manager, their creator, and he is the one that is responsible for all of us enjoying 50 years of music, of entertainment, of excitement, of thrills, of movies, of triumph as pioneers, people, activists, people that donated so much money to charity. So without Joe Jackson, imagine those millions of dollars that Michael wouldn't have, and Michael and Janet and the rest of the family wouldn't have ever been able to donate. So all the fans that joined me in that campaign to get Joe Jackson mentioned in the memoriam of the Grammys. I don't know if Joe has ever been mentioned by the Grammys or honored by the Grammys, but I'm so proud that we played a small part in this. Now, I want to show you guys, I did hear back. I had sent the Grammys a thank you. I sent them a thank you for including Joe Jackson, and they responded. And they said, thank you for your kind words. We'll be sure to pass your sentiment along to Mr. Portnow, because I had sent them a thank you for including Joe Jackson in the memoriam. And I know there were several of you guys that wrote, so we can feel like everything that we do as activists or as Michael Jackson supporters or as Jackson family supporters isn't always a fight. Sometimes it's just making sure good things happen. So let's all be proud of that. And rest in peace, Papa Joe, and thank you so much. I knew you more than anyone, any of the Jacksons, and I'm so sad that you're gone. But anyway, thank you for everything that you did. And since Michael forgave you, hey, who am I not to, right? Okay, so now we got to move on to the drama. Oh, Lord. Okay, there's so much going on. I have so many notes. Okay, last Friday, on the 7th, I think it was the 7th, the letter, or Thursday, the estate wrote a multiple page letter, like a 10-page letter to HBO saying, you know, this will be a shameful part of HBO's history if you air that documentary that is just basically two people talking in front of a camera with intertwined video footage because they knew Michael. And they said, don't do it, and we want to set up a meeting. And they pointed out how, you know, even in their litigation with Wade and Safe Chuck, that they caught him in lies, all kinds of lies with wrong dates, that Joy, Wade's mother, says that Wade is such a good liar that you can't tell when he's lying and he deserves an Oscar. And Wade Robson, I got to remember Rob because they're trying to rob the estate. Wade Robson says he calls himself the master of deception. Okay. Also, it's on appeal. Remember, I had reported before that I think it's on appeal because their cases got dismissed and they're on appeal. The estate is like, look, we've been dealing with this thing for almost 5 years. Nobody came to us and asked us our opinions on anything, which is against really basic journalistic ethics. The meeting, I heard, is not going to happen, but things can change. There has been an air date for that terrible documentary. It's in early March. I really don't want to promote it because I don't want to give out too much information, even though I'll probably mention it. But it's early March and it's in 2 days. And so we got a while. We got about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks before it airs that we can do something about it. My suggestion is to file an emergency injunction, the estate, and get them to stop doing it. Stop airing it. Say it is, because if you can't defame the quote unquote dead, okay, Michael Jackson, there's nothing that proves he's dead. And Wade is way out of the statute of limitations as far as a criminal case is concerned. Way out of statute of limitations. So he couldn't file a criminal case now if he wanted to. Because I've been telling people that Michael's been alive since 2011 on Netflix for 2 years. My Alive, Is Michael Jackson Really Dead documentary aired. Plus my Pseudocide book came out in May of 2010 because I'm a licensed media company. And so I've been doing the best that I can to inform the public about Michael Jackson faking his death. So, and then on 11/11/11, right? Is that the? I think that was that was the sentencing date. I think 11/7/11 was the date that Conrad Murray was found guilty. But it went out to the whole world live that they said Conrad Murray guilty of manslaughter, penal code, blah, blah. Alleged victim, Michael Joseph Jackson, alleged date. That went out to the whole world. And that should have told everyone in the whole world that they couldn't confirm that that was Michael who died. That dead body is Michael's. And since then, I want you guys to know that I wrote to the DA and we went back and forth. And it took them a while. And I asked them, will you confirm that that dead body is Michael's? And who wrote those words in the verdict? They told me, I'm not answering you. So they refused to confirm that that dead body is Michael's. So I've been telling this forever. So if I've been telling it and Wade is a part of the Michael Jackson fan base, which he is, you know that I've been saying this forever, that Michael Jackson is not dead. Okay? So Michael criminal charges cannot be filed on him in case he comes back because there's a statute of limitations, which is up to the age of 26. Okay, and it may extend another few years if you're in California, because there is one exception that if you have repressed memory, then it's from 3 years from the time that you remembered. Okay, Wade Robson said he never forgot. He said that on national television to Matt Lauer. He never forgot. And how can you have repressed memory when you were grilled when you were a kid for the 93 case? where you were asked in front of your mother, your sister, and in a deposition if Michael ever molested you, you purposely said no. Then in 2005, you said no. So you remembered, you chose to lie. Okay, now let's talk about him choosing. He didn't lie I'm saying from his perspective, he chose to lie. From the perspective of Michael as a molester, his story today, I believe under oath he was telling the truth. I want to make sure I get clear there because it can get confusing. I know Taj kind of mixed that up on his interview, Taj Jackson, but it's easy to mix up, honey. I'm not criticizing. It's easy to mix up. When did he lie? When did he tell the truth? We all believe that Michael molesting him is the lie. Now let's say he knew it was a lie. Okay, in 2005 when he was 23 years old, right? You knew Michael had a son that was about the same age that you were accusing Michael of molesting you. And you didn't feel anything for him? You didn't say, gosh, you know, Michael got a little kid now. He's going to go through. He's my age when I started getting molested. Oh, no, I got to do something. You know, you didn't care. That's why I know that this is not true. Because you would have to be such a heartless individual to know that every time that you were together, that Michael molested you, right? Every time. And then you see that he has a little boy with him and you don't care? And you lied to keep somebody in that situation on an everyday basis? No, it's impossible. It's impossible. Wade is lying. Everything about this story is a crock of poo-poo. Everything about this story that Wade is saying that Michael molested him is a crock of poo-poo. Everything. Okay? Now, I do not believe for 1 second that Michael is a molester. Ever. With anybody. Period. Okay? I was using that as an example. Okay? That Wade, if Wade was lying under oath to protect Michael, he really wasn't lying under oath because you would have a heart and things would be brought out and they were pulling things out. So there's no repressed memory and there's no, I didn't know the sex was wrong with the kid when you're being questioned about it. Okay. By seasoned professionals, by Ron Zonin, the DA. Wait, I'm going to tell you more stuff that's complete hogwash. Okay. I was going to do something on Michael Jackson's porn, right? But what I did was I had released it 2.5 years ago. And it was a True Talk episode number 4, True Talk. And it's Michael Jackson's Pornography. So I put the link there and I'll put the link in the description here. And it's one of my True Talk shows. So you guys can see me way back in 2005. And I produced and released this show. This TV show in 2005. So it's very accurate and it's in real time. Got to remember it's in real time. I don't know what's going to happen the next day. I don't know that Michael's going to be acquitted the next day or later on. I'm just telling you what's happening in the courtroom as I see it, as it's playing out. Okay, so try to watch my Michael Jackson Pornography. I was going to do a whole live about it, but I found that show, and I found that I had already released it, so you guys watch it. It's called True Talk, Michael Jackson's Pornography. It's on my YouTube channel. Okay, also with Michael Jackson, right? Michael didn't just hang around with young kids. He hung around with older women. He was in love with Diana Ross for like over a decade from when he was a kid. She's 15 years older than him, right? Happy birthday, Diana. And to my friend, Debbie, happy birthday to her too. And he hung around Liz Taylor, who was really a lot older. He hung around with Jane Fonda. Him and Jane Fonda went skinny dipping. Okay. He hung around with Diana Ross. Let me see all the names. And Liza Minnelli. Hung around with Liza Minnelli, right? These are all older women that Michael hung around with because Michael wanted every demographic. He wanted to reach the young people, the old people, the white people, the black people, the international people. He wanted everybody to enjoy his music, right? And from a business perspective, and his job as a recording artist is to sell records. That's his job. It's his job. So he wants to beat his record on Thriller. So he's trying to, you know, reach every single demographic he could be. And what happened is you try to be too many things to too many people. Then it gets all confused and you become, you know, misunderstood. You become misunderstood. And that's what this is about, being misunderstood. Okay. And being lied on. Michael also had a magazine that featured women over 50. He had that, as well as plumpers for fat women, right? So, guys, that was and those porn magazines. Michael had the video Pimps Up, Hoes Down, right? That he used, that he watched, that, you know, and in his Penthouse and his Hustler and his Playboy magazines, and Black Starlets, which was a magazine of black women. You got to remember his fingerprints were all on there. Okay, these were things that he enjoyed that proved his sexuality. And in my True Talk show, the one Michael Jackson's Pornography, I asked a gay guy in that show his opinion of Michael Jackson's porn. So that's in that show. So I want you guys to watch it. It is on my YouTube channel. Okay. I want to talk, before I get back into Wade, I want to talk about a couple of the things that are going on. The Maid, okay, Adrienne McManus. She's mentioned in my Michael Jackson Trial and Triumph of the King of Pop documentary, and she was found out to be a liar. She's a part of the Neverland Five that I talked about in my last live, and she was caught stealing, and they were caught lying and selling, you know, fantasies, lies to the tabloids. They were caught. They sued Michael for wrongful termination. Michael turned around and sued them and won $1.4 million. Well, Adrienne McManus, this maid story, where this maid is going around telling people that he found little boys' trunks in the jacuzzi. Okay. The kids got to change out of the wet clothes. Doesn't mean Michael was in the room with them when they changed clothes. But the kids had to change clothes. They had to change clothes. He had to change out of the wet swimming trunks, right? So whether they went swimming outside and went inside into the jacuzzi afterwards and whatever, Michael could have left the room, which I bet he left the room, and gave the kids their dry clothes. And where are they going to put the wet swim trunks? They're going to put them wherever they put them. They're going to hang them on the wall. They're going to put them back in the jacuzzi. They're going to put them wherever. But they got to change. So it's just regular stuff when you find little kids' swim trunks in the house when they've been swimming or they've been playing in water. So don't listen to it. Everything is being manipulated into something horrible because people have deceitful minds and people are greedy and people want fast money and people want to drive nice cars and live in nice houses and wear nice jewelry and all these things and go on nice vacations. So people think that since they were around Michael and he paid whatever millions of dollars through his insurance back in '93, he was a mark, he was a target. Okay? So that's regular behavior. Okay, so she probably did see him, but it doesn't mean Michael was molesting the kids or was in the room when they were changing clothes. Oh, and then there was a lie that she said that she caught someone in the shower with Michael. Well, that kid came out and said, that wasn't me. I wasn't in no shower with Michael. Okay, so she has been proven a liar on the stand. Okay, and another thing, Bob Jones was Michael's publicist. He was Michael's PR guy for many, many years. He died riding his bike. He just dropped dead riding his bike. He didn't like me. But anyway, because I told the truth in the 2005 trial, and he was friends with Stacey Brown, who is a journalist that really wrote a lot of smug articles about Michael back then and had that book out. Well, anyway, they were buddies. So anyway, so he wrote in his book, that he thought Michael could be a child molester, but under oath, he changed his story. And he was asked, do you think Michael's a child molester under oath? He said no. And then he was asked, well, why do you insinuate something different in your book? He said, well, in my book, I'm not under oath. Okay? So remember that with Wade and Saychuk. This documentary is not under oath. Okay? It's not under oath. Okay? So I want to go through those things. I have more stuff. Okay? Okay, right now, I think that the law firm that is representing Robeson and Safechuck, they are, in my opinion, using unethical legal practices to extort money and to intimidate and to harass. And this documentary is nothing but another form of harassment. Okay? Now, Wade Robeson, somebody sent this to me, right? I'm sorry if I can't remember what your name is that sent it to me. But, Kellen sent it to me. Thank you, Kellen. Kellen sent it to me. Wade Robeson started a business in 2014 to make documentaries. In 2014, to make documentaries. So this is a part of the legal strategy to try to get the Jacksons to pay up, to try to get the Jacksons' estate to pay up. It expires, that license for that business to make documentaries that Wade has in Hawaii, it expires on my birthday this year. May 6th, 2019, it expires. But of course they can renew it. But that goes back to their plan and their strategy, what they wanted to do. Okay, this is nothing but unethical legal practices. And the estate needs to file an immediate injunction to stop HBO from airing this slanderous fantasy fairy tale where these boys are pretty much bragging that the king of pop was so sexually attracted to him that every time he saw them, he had to have some of that. Okay? It's a fantasy in their head. It's a fairy tale. Okay? It's a fairy tale. It's a fantasy. You know why? Wade Robeson. Remember I told you guys he dated two of Michael's nieces? Well, Brandi Jackson, who is Jackie Jackson's daughter, oh, she ain't playing no more, okay? She telling it. She tired of being quiet about the situation. Okay, I'm going to turn my camera around, okay? A few hours ago, this is Brandi Jackson, who I think is so sweet and so nice and so adorable. Look at her. She's adorable. Remember her in the LA Gear commercials and in the black and white video? Okay, that's her. That's Brandi, Michael, and Wade Robeson, right? So Taj says, I bet you won't print this, Taj Jackson, right? Okay, listen to this. I'm going to go back to her original because you know okay. She says, Wade and I were together over 7 years, but I bet that isn't in his documentary because it would ruin his timeline. And did I mention it was my uncle, Michael Jackson, who set us up? Wade is not a victim. Hashtag Wade Robeson is a liar. Okay, 7 years. 7 years. And Michael set him up. Michael just was so in love with you, Wade. He couldn't wait to give you to somebody else, give you to his niece, right? I pray he comes at me for these truths because I will happily put him in his place. She also wrote, and she's so sweet and shy, and she's just like the Jacksons, so sweet. She said, I found out Wade cheated on me with multiple women who he hoped would advance his career. You might know one of them because it was a huge pop music scandal. Wade is not a victim. He's an opportunist. That was Britney Spears, I believe, with that. And that's why her and Justin, what's his name? Oh, my gosh. Oh, I just love him. I think he's so great. But that's why they broke up. You know, not Justin Bieber, but the other one broke up. God, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. And then Brandi goes on to say, Wade, she's talking directly to him. Wade, you constantly talked about wanting to be relevant. You've burned so many bridges that now the only time you are hashtag relevant is when you headline with my family's name next to yours. It's time to stop these lies and live your own life. Hashtag lies run sprints, but truths run marathons. Okay. I'm so proud of you, Brandi. I am so proud of you for coming forward. This is today. This is 3 hours ago she started this, okay? All right. So we have that from Brandi Jackson. Thank you very much. And I know he also, and thank you to, I think your name is Ronnie, who sent this to me. Thank you, Ronnie, for for sending that to me. And I have more stuff, okay, that I want to talk to you guys about. Now, let me see if I want to go. I'll go here now. Okay, here we go. This documentary, even though it hasn't been released, has been, I don't know, you can't unhear the stuff that you hear. We can't unhear it, okay? We can't unhear these things. So if this documentary airs, it will be destroying Michael's legacy. It will be. Can he recoup? I don't know, but it definitely is out for destruction, because here is in Denmark a statue of Michael that's going to be taken down. That's going to be taken down. Michael Jackson wax statue removed by Danish mall. Okay, and that's today's article. That's today's article. So they're trying to remove it because they just can't take it anymore. Okay. Michael Jackson's statue was replaced with one of Brad Pitt. I like Brad Pitt. I wouldn't be mad at Brad Pitt, you know. If you would like to complain about the mall's decision to remove Michael Jackson's wax from the exhibition, please contact, and here's the information where you contact. Here's their Facebook, okay? So here's something else that we can do, right? So this whole thing, and it hasn't even aired yet. So imagine how horrible it's going to be when it airs. Okay, let's see. I'm going to turn this back around. Turn my camera. There I am. Okay. I turned it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. So there's so much going on. I have more notes. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting there. Also, you guys got to remember, Michael and Jermaine had a little fight over Whitney Houston too. Okay. So his urges, his sexuality is heterosexual. Now, if you're introduced to sex in a homosexual, which just means you both have the same sex organs, in a homosexual way, okay, and it's done to you for 7 straight years, though it's like you are being trained, because, you know, are you gay because of nature or nurture? Molest people from long periods of time may be gay because that's how they've been conditioned. So that's nurture. That means that you learned it through practice. You weren't born gay. Now, Wade, with all his proclivities towards women, wait a minute. You were conditioned to like male-on-male sex? You were conditioned to like male-on-male sex. You could have feelings for women, but you were conditioned to have male-on-male sex. Okay, if Michael was molesting you every time he saw you for 7 years, from age 7 to age 14, even to the point where you were as tall as him when you were 14, and he tried to anally penetrate you, which I do not believe any of this is true. You're not gay. You're going after all these women and so many women and so much sex and so much of that. And Michael's going to set you up with his niece, and you're going to date another niece on top of that, which I believe is Stacey. Stacey Brown, not the writer Stacey Brown. That's a man that I talked about earlier. Stacey Brown is also Rebe Brown's daughter. Austin. Oh, yeah. Austin also thanked the Academy for mentioning Joe Jackson, and I wonder if he knows that we did the campaign to make sure Joe Jackson was mentioned. I wish they would have called him more than a patriarch, you know, on the Grammys. I know I'm going back and forth, but, you know, but you guys can follow me. Patriarch, because Joe Jackson was a manager. He was their manager, a legal manager of the Jacksons, more than a patriarch, okay? And also, I want to tell you something that I learned in the trial, too, that I knew that one other person was lying, that Michael had to pay over $1 million to, okay, is the Francias, okay, Jason Francia, okay, and Blanca Francia. I was in the courtroom when they testified. I was in the courtroom when Macaulay Culkin denied, and I was in the courtroom many, many times, okay? They had said Michael tickled him, and said that they were going to, she was paid $20,000, I believe, by Diane Dimond. Okay, because Diane Dimond is not a good person. Sharon Snedden was good buddies. Okay, put them in a hotel room, brought them $20,000 and paid them $20,000 to say Michael did something sexual with their little boy. Because the maid didn't always have a babysitter, so Michael let the maid bring her little boy, and Michael would play with the little boy like any person would. And so then she made up this story. Anyway, so I remember Tom Mesereau. They said that Michael gave him $100, okay, for that little sexual escapade, $100. And they asked how was it paid. And the son had said it was $250s. He remembers it was $250s. And then the mother said it was a $100 bill. So you don't mix that up. They were lying. They were lying. And Michael had to pay that because he wanted it to go away so bad. And he said, oh my God, if there's multiple ones, people are really going to think that I'm a molester. And he's not. He's not. Okay? Wade Robison is his fantasy. That the King of Pop was in love with him. That the King of Pop was sexually attracted, both of them. It's their fantasy. It's their fairy tale. Okay? The only way that they can be relevant, like Brandi said. Okay? 7 years he was with Brandi. 7 years. That's a heck of a heterosexual relationship. Okay? Heck of a heterosexual relationship. Right? All right. So let's see if I have more stuff that I want to show you guys. I think I'm through. Oh, I have more notes. I forgot. I got notes on the back of here. Okay. Motown. Good news. Okay. Motown. Motown 60. Airing on CBS. April 21st. And wouldn't it be nice if Michael decided that would be his place where he comes back? Okay. I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that nothing proves that Michael Jackson is dead, which means he is alive. Okay, I've been looking for 9.5 years for confirmation that Michael Jackson is dead, and everywhere I turn, it says, nope, you can't confirm at UCLA, you can't confirm at the coroners, you can't confirm at the 911 call, you can't confirm at Forest Lawn, you can't confirm in the court system. Okay? And Michael, statute of limitations is passed. Wade can't and Safe Chuck can't do anything to you. Okay, if you were to come back. They can't do anything. Because of statute of limitations, and I am a media company, and I've been going around in the media telling people that Michael Jackson is alive, that Michael Jackson faked his death. And in 2011, it went all over the world, that verdict of Conrad Murray saying alleged victim, Michael Joseph Jackson, and his name is Michael Joe Jackson, 100% F-A-C-T, fact, okay, not Joseph, an alleged date. So they don't know when that body died or who that body belonged to, but I have plenty of evidence in my Live 2 documentary, Live 2, and also in my Live trilogy. So for those of you who have not watched my documentaries, please do. Please do. Okay? Because there's a lot more than what I can tell you here. A lot of stuff that'll just have you sit in your seat, covering your mouth, going, oh my God. Oh my God. How did I miss that? How did I not see that? Oh my God. All the clues that Michael left, the clues that are in Michael's music. Yes, my documentaries have dozens of Michael Jackson songs, and they're all fair use. Okay? They're all fair use. So it's kind of like a documentary musical because I use so much of Michael Jackson's music in the documentaries. Okay? Because Michael left us a lot of clues too. Okay? Let's say, I think I went through all my notes, guys. I think I went through all my notes. All my notes. I think I went through all my notes. I'm just kind of going through them to make sure. Oh, and then one last thing. They talk about how Michael had this alarm where nobody could come. That was because somebody had broken into into Neverland, and he caught him in his closet. Okay, a girl had broken in there and was in his closet. So now he had to have alarms and all that other stuff to protect himself, right? But so why did the maid have full access and a key? right? Why did he give somebody else a key to his bedroom, right? If he was molesting kids in the bedroom and he wanted it to be kept secret. It's all just ridiculous. Safe Chuck saying that there was a room full of people, he'd take them in another room, sexually molest them, and then bring them back to the room of the other kids. As if you wouldn't be, be depressed, sad, show difference of an attitude, withdrawn. I mean, the story is just ridiculous. And then they lie. Wade said, was it the first time? Was it the second time? Was it the third time that you had sex with Michael? He can't remember. He changes his story. It's just all just totally ridiculous. It's just all just hogwash. And there needs to be immediate injunction. You know why? Because if this HBO documentary isn't stopped, anybody can make any documentary and tell any lie they want to on Michael to the end of time. And the law needs to be changed because there are 7 states that have laws that you cannot defame the quote-unquote dead. Okay? There is no way, with everything that's out there, that Wade Robeson and Safe Chuck can ever prove their case that Michael Jackson was molested them. They have zero evidence. Just words coming out of their mouth, telling a fable, telling a fantasy. Telling a fantasy. And there's no way that you would see Little Prince with Michael and you would not go, oh my God, and feel for him if you were being molested. It didn't bother you about Little Prince with Michael and Paris is a girl with Michael, with them, or BG Blanket with them. You know why it didn't bother you, Wade? Because you weren't molested. That's why it didn't bother you. That's why you didn't try to save those boys. Because you were not molested, Wade Robeson. All right, I'm done. I'm done. I think I have talked about everything. I am up to date, guys, and I will talk to you guys next time. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you, in parting, a part of my True Talk show, okay? I'm going to turn the camera around. And this is a part of my True Talk show.
When a very famous person's sexual preference is in question and the public has to fill in the blanks, you can be in a world of trouble. Well, Michael Jackson has spent the last 10 years trying to prove that he's a regular heterosexual guy. But do you believe it? Welcome to the trial of Michael Jackson. Oh. What happened behind the scenes of the Michael Jackson trial was just as interesting as the trial itself.
7:49 at this point.
This isn't Stop Sour. We're here for him. We love him. We support him 1,000,000%. Michael's innocent.
Oh.
Let's go defense, let's go! Let's go defense, let's go! Let's go defense, let's go!
How do you spell Michael Jackson?
Innocent!
The prosecution side participates strongly.
See that? That's where you can watch it. Michael Jackson, Real Pornography, True Talk, straight out of LA, episode number 4. So I'm going to try to release more of them, okay, guys? More of them. I think I got 12 or 13 of them. And they went out. I did the best that I could, my little company. And right now I don't have Cecil. He works, right? So I don't have an editor to edit my my shows, my videos anymore. So this is why I turned the camera around. But it works because you guys are with me because you want the info, right? You want the info. And then I think I might have some information for Prisoner of Fame soon. All right, guys? But we got to send the estate, they got to get the law changed about defaming the quote-unquote dead. Okay, injunction, cease and desist. Tom Mesereau sent a cease and desist because Tom Mesereau will be known as the lawyer who helped a pedophile get free if they don't do something about this. This is slander to even my work as a documentary filmmaker. It is slander to Tom Mesereau, who it was a great victory in front of the world. And he deserved it because nothing proved that Michael Jackson was a gay, homosexual pedophile. Nothing proved that. Nothing at all. Okay? All right, guys. So watch the rest of my True Talk show. Okay? And hopefully I'll have some news soon. I'm still working on it. Okay, guys? Love you. I got lipstick on today. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.